Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia, New Mexico, as it is Game 5 of our 5-game road swing here at the start of this 2023 season. Welcome to it. With Don Morgan fieldside, I'm TJ Miracle. Brad Henderson will be joining us here in just a little while to help out with the camera. So tonight is going to be, as I think the old saying goes, an old-fashioned slobber knocker, as you've got two of the top teams in the state of New Mexico getting it on here tonight at Mac Chase Field. Artesia at 5-0. They are the number one team in 5A. Not only are they the number one team in 5A, they are the rated as number one team overall in the land of enchantment. For Lovington, they come in out of a big win last week against Denver City. They are the number one team in Class 4A still, and they are the number 9 team overall in New Mexico. So you've got a, regardless of class, top 10 matchup, and a matchup of two different classifications, number ones tonight. Lovington, as we mentioned, 3-2 after that thrilling victory. And it was a hang-on-for-dear-life victory last week, 51-48. Artesia kind of had one of those too last week as they knocked off 6A number one Cleveland 36-34. And, Dawn, I don't know how we managed to keep doing this, but it's homecoming again.
Yeah, I think everybody decided to make Lovington their homecoming game this season. It's worked out that way. Then finally next Friday, Lovington gets to have their own homecoming game, finally. So, but tonight, yeah, they're doing some of the homecoming, activities out on at center field right now, and I think they're just about to wrap that up here in probably just another couple of minutes, so not too bad. But I was talking with one of the refs here, in fact, the chief ref, and, I was doing some technical stuff and missed the announcement, but that Artesia won the toss and elected to receive. And so I was just double checking so I knew what was going on before the kickoff.
Well, and that is correct, and good catch. And I do know that officiating crew is out of Clovis tonight. I heard the PA announcer up here mention that. So we know where they are from. We know where we're from. We know where we're at. We're in Artesia here on Z94 KZOR, Hobbs, Lovington, the Z94 KZOR app, also on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel, and HobbsAmerica.com. So last week in that thrilling victory against Denver City, first time Lovington had beaten a Texas team in over a decade, it was really kind of a tale of two halves in that ball game, Dawn, as Lovington finishes up the game with 435 total yards. Wyatt Gomez goes 23 of 41, 349 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Those touchdowns and his favorite target, 3 of those 5 coming to DeMarcus Thompson, who had 7 catches for 161 yards in that ball game. DeMarcus has really become the go-to guy for Gomez.
Yeah, he's just really, it's been nice to see him. He's been not too shabby over the last, couple of seasons for sure, 3 seasons. But, man, it seems like he's really come into his own here in this season. And, popping up. Lovington needed, for players to step up and really execute, this season, and he's one of them that has done that and put up some big numbers. A lot of these guys did put up big numbers in that game, and that thrilling win, as you said, it was down to the final second last week. So yeah.
Well, and at one point in that ball game, Lovington was up by 3 scores, or up by 21 points.
Yep.
So are they doing the national anthem? Yes, they are.
Just about to do.
So we will go ahead and take a timeout and come back and continue. This is your Stone Oilfield Services pregame show. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat football here on Z94 KZOR, the Z94 KZOR app, the Lovington Sports YouTube channel, and on HobbsAmerica.com. With Don Morgan fieldside, I'm TJ Merrick, Levy Stuber in studio engineering and producing as we continue our Stone Oilfield Services pregame show. The national anthem was just performed right now. Lovington performing their alma mater. I'm sure Artesia will theirs here momentarily too as we continue through the pregame show. Of course, we mentioned just a minute ago, of course, it was a tale of two halves in that game. At one point, Lovington was up by 3 touchdowns, but all of a sudden Denver City seemed to find a second gear in that second half, and they really just started running and pounding the ball down the Wildcats' throat with their 3-headed running backs. And that's something Lovington's going to have to work on tonight, Dawn, and that is stopping the run. Because Artesia likes to run. They use the run to set up the pass, and as soon as you think, oh, they're going to run it for sure, they can burn you deep, so you can't go to sleep, but it's the run that really seems to set things up for Artesia.
Yeah, I mean, Lovington's going to have their hands full. I mean, this is such an excellent team. And but Lovington is no slouch, and they know what they've got to do. You know, these guys, I'm sure they've, the coach talked last week about what to expect out of Artesia and, what they were going to have to do defensively and offensively. And so Lovington has, they know their game plan. They know what they need to do. It's going to come down to, who can push their game plan early and often and execution, So it's, and how well Lovington can stand up, to the punishment. I mean, 90 guys on a roster. Are you kidding me?
I know that's crazy. When I got up here to the press box, and always big thanks to both the Artesia schools and our friends at the Artesia radio stations here. They always make sure they provide us with rosters and things. When I printed out the rosters at home, it was 4.5 pages long, basically. Even with them making it a lot smaller to try and get it on one page, they couldn't. It's still 2 pages, even from the crew here, and that's a lot of kids on that team. And that's one thing that I think Coach G has talked about, and we've talked about it. You have, especially Dawn. They've got most of these guys going both ways, and so at least when they play a bigger school in Artesia, being a 5A. For football, even though they're 4A in our district for everything else, they're not in football. But we're going to, especially when we play a bigger school, a 5A or a 6A in football, we are going to be outgunned. There's just no way around it. We've got 30, 40 kids on the roster who play consistently, but you're going to play teams that are just a lot deeper than you are and can put fresher legs and fresher bodies out there sometimes that Lovington really doesn't have that luxury with.
No, they are at a distinct disadvantage because of that, and it's remarkable. I think that makes it all the more remarkable how well Lovington has been able to play, in this very, very tough pre-district schedule against these bigger teams. They've come in as the underdog,
I think in every game,
time.
Yeah. Except maybe Santa Teresa. But.
And they managed to. They've won 3 of them, and done a really good job in all of them.
Well, I think if you asked Coach G, because we are halfway through the regular season now. This is game 6. I think if you asked Coach Gonzalez before the season started, maybe on the record, maybe off the record, Coach, if we told you were going to be 3-2 going into the Artesia game, how would you feel about it? I think he would have been absolutely ecstatic about that.
You bet. I mean,
because he set up this, he set up a meat grinder of a pre-district schedule once again.
Yes, he did. I mean, they have done this on purpose, and as they said, the biggest challenge is keeping your team from not getting down and staying down in the dumps from out of losses, and just licking wounds and saying okay, but that they were bigger, stronger, faster, better, and they were expected to win. So now we gotta go and face another team just like that next week and next week and next week. And the coach said it's a building up process, not a tearing down process, and making sure that happens with every player and as a team is that's a challenge.
Well, it certainly is. So the question is, are you going to be up to the challenge? And I think, normally Lovington is, but tonight just a little bit different animal in the Artesia Bulldogs. But you get the adrenaline flowing, you get the young bodies and the young men out there playing. Anything can happen, and I think that's what Lovington wants tonight. The Wildcats are out on the field. They're in the home whites with the blue pants, blue letters and numbers, the white hats with cats in script. Artesia in their home orange with the black letters and numbers and the orange helmets for their homecoming attire tonight. So we will put a wrap on the Stonewall Field Services pregame show and take a timeout for 90 seconds. Come back with the kickoff as it's the Wildcats and the Bulldogs from Artesia here on Z94 KZOR Hobbs Lovington. And welcome back to Lovington Wildcat Football on Z94 KZOR Hobbs Lovington, the Z94 KZOR app, the Lovington YouTube. Please subscribe, by the way, and HobbsAmerica.com. With Dawn from Fieldside, I'm TJ Miracle, Brad Anderson to the crowd to get up here. So for the first few minutes at least, please forgive the camera work. It will be me running the camera. So the Wildcats did not win the toss. Artesia wins the toss, and they have elected to receive. So Lovington will be kicking it away, and I think that's absolutely fine with Coach G. As teeing it up for the Wildcats will be Justin Allen. He puts it at the 40, so got to watch Artesia. They're going to be back deep, and they're going to do everything they can. Coach Maupin is a proponent of the Starburst, but we've seen it. Allen has it at the 40, and we are ready to go. As Allen will kick it, it'll be a squib. It'll be fielded and bobbled a little bit at the 38. One of the upmen takes it, finds a seam. He's across the 45 into Wildcat territory down to about the 42-yard line. Flag flies on the play. I think we may have a block in the back or a hold, but we will see. So a decent return for Artesia, but maybe going to be coming back even further. We will have to see.
Juan Juarez and Alec O'Gean were the two main guys for Lovington to get there first and get him down.
So waiting. Wow, it's a face mask personal foul on Lovington, and so it'll be 15 yards from the end of the run tacked onto it. So it goes from a good return to a great return, and you do not want to give these Artesia Bulldogs even more room, so they're going to tack 15 on to the end of that one. That'll take them all the way inside the Wildcat 30 to the 28-yard line.
Wow. Ouch, ouch.
Ouch indeed. Nia Estrada will be the quarterback. He's pretty much the one who pulls the trigger on everything. I believe that's Frankie Galindo in the backfield with him. So after the personal foul, a fantastic starting field position for the Bulldogs. Estrada will be in the shotgun, Galindo in the backfield with him. Twins to the left, single receiver to the right. Lovington going to play, actually it's twins left, twins right. As Lovington going to play man coverage. Hand it to Galindo, goes left side, bounces off one, gets inside the 25 and down to about the 24-yard line. So it'll be a pickup of make it 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, slung down by Francisco Ariola.
So now it'll be 2nd down and 5 for Artesia, moving towards the Lovington red zone from the 24-yard line. Deep inside Wildcat territory. From the shotgun, it is Estrada. Gets it high, snap, looks to pass. Looks near side, comes near side, going to the end zone, has a man in stride, and it is over the shoulder for a touchdown to Ethan Kahn. 24 yards to Kahn as he found a place and goes in, and just like that, the Artesia Bulldogs take the early 7-0 lead.
Yeah, Betancourt and Gutierrez were on him, but a couple of steps away.
So that'll mean it is time for the point after for the Bulldogs. Now they're going to shift around. Looks like they are going to go for 2. They will, and they will push it in with Galindo, and they will push it across the line and be into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So only 45 seconds into this one. Artesia with the early 8-0 lead. We're back in 60 seconds here on Z94 KZOR. Jacob Parrish will kick it away for the Artesia Bulldogs. It'll be a high end-over-ender. Going to be fielded at the 15 as the Wildcats get it. That's Ribeiro. He's to the 20, out to the 22, and runs into an orange-clad wall who will take him down. Leading the way, looked like from up here was Credencio Cuellar. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, already trailing 8-0 on a 2-play drive that went 29 yards for Artesia. So now it's going to be up to Lovington to try and get it back, as I think ball control may wind up being a key tonight too, Dawn.
Yeah, definitely just trying to hang on to the ball, making those conversions on 3rd down. It's going to be even more important than ever. They did much better in that last game last Friday on that as well.
You don't want to turn it into a track meet against a team as powerful as Artesia, which means keep their offense off the field. As Wyatt will have it, he will hand it off to Ochoa, and he stumbles in the backfield before he goes down. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Kamen and the Wildcats as the Turf Monster gets his first tackle of the ball game. I think they're going to officially credit that one to Aiden Huffman, but it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats on no gain. Cats going to try and figure something out here, trailing 8-0. Two number 1 teams, the number 1 team in 4A in the Wildcats, the number 1 team in 5A in the Bulldogs. Wildcats come in with a tight end set. Fake the handoff, throw it across the middle, and getting decked right before he gets the ball is DeMarcus Thompson, and the ball is tipped on the line. A couple of Bulldogs in the neighborhood, almost trouble, as David Hammond with a chance at picking that one off, but it'll be incomplete, and now 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats. That's something they did not want to see.
No, and Hammond's got decent height. He's not the tallest guy on the line, 5'10", but he's got some long arms, and he reached up at the right time and got some fingertips on it.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. Ball spotted at the 22-yard line. Cats need to get it out to the 32. Empty set in the backfield. Wide waits for it. Artesia going to try and bring the pressure with just 3 guys. Gomez throws it underneath. Thompson will get it and then be pushed out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So it'll be a 4-yard completion, but it'll be punt time, I've got to think, for the Cats.
Yeah, they're just too deep in their own territory. I think they're going to want to get rid of that ball, and here comes the special team.
And the special teams will check in. So Artesia holds Lovington to a 3 and out on their opening possession of the ball game. Now it's going to be up to the special teams to try and get this one settled down. Jesse Armendariz is back deep to receive for Artesia. Sets up about his own 38-yard line. So Patrick Sanchez to punt it, and Patrick will get it, and it's a good line drive kick. Going to bounce at the 40, take a Wildcat bounce, and then it'll skitter out of bounds back at the 33-yard line. But that's kind of what you want to do, pretty much flip the field.
Yeah.
And so Artesia will take back over from their own 33.
Yeah, not bad at all. It really was pretty nice. And I know Elon Clayton was hurrying down there, and in case he needed to try to down that ball, but.
And they're going to say officially at the 34. So 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. It'll be Artesia Bulldog football once again. They already lead 8-0. Lovington would like to keep that right where it is. Going to need a defensive stand. Lovington comes out, puts 4 men across the front. They're going man defense on the receivers. Estrada is the quarterback. Galindo on his right shoulder. Bulldogs moving left to right. Hand it to Galindo. Starts it right, comes back left, and is going to be sliced down just shy of the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5 for Galindo. 2nd down and 5 for Artesia.
Valentin Herrera and Francisco Ariola on the stop there on that one.
Ariola's one who's been doing a lot of good work here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, the offensive and defensive lines have just done, they've worked so hard in these games.
So it'll be 2nd down and 5 for Artesia. Twins left, twins right. I believe they call that the A set. And on the end around, they will toss it to one of those guys, and he gets away from one. He's across the 50, going to the sideline. Tippy toes, and he is well into Lovington territory before he is pushed out by Cesar Gonzalez.
And I think it was 17 Casares who actually carried the.
Oh, 17, not 87. Okay. Well, he had a big gain no matter how you look at it, so he'll take it. That is 10, 20, 22 yards for Casares, and it'll be an Artesia 1st down. So inside Lovington territory from the 42-yard line. Twins left, twins right from the near hash mark. Changing the play at the line is Estrada, the quarterback. He moves Galindo over to his left shoulder. High snap, give it to Galindo. He goes left, and he is hit in the backfield and dropped. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. DeMarcus Thompson didn't fall for the stretch play, and they're actually going to say that Galindo loses a yard on that one. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Good pursuit there from the secondary for Thompson.
Yeah, definitely. Good sniff out early and nice motion, getting across quickly. And really containing.
2nd and 11 from the Wildcat 43-yard line. 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Artesia trying to go up by 2 scores. Twins to the left, twins to the right. Waiting on the shotgun snap. Galindo on the right shoulder. Back to pass Estrada. Throws it, has a man, and overthrows his intended target on the near side. That was Kahn. So incomplete. Kyler Reeves on the defense over there, so incomplete, and now it'll be 3rd down and 11 for Artesia.
Yeah, and this is a good opportunity here for Lovington to put even more pressure on them and see if they can't go ahead and shake something loose here.
Yep, just stay in your lane. That's another thing that Lovington has done extremely well the last 3 weeks is they have won the turnover battle. So you'd like to get one here if you could. Twins left, twins to the right. Pretty much what they run all the time under Coach Maupin. Estrada goes up, parks something at his lineman. He's going to move Casares into the far slot on the left side. High snap, Estrada with it. A good protection, back to pass. Now he's flushed. Rolls to the left side, directs traffic. Has a man across the 40 out at around the 38-yard line.
That is Duran, Juan Diego Duran.
So Juan Diego Duran.
It was completed. He kept his feet in.
So he's going to pick up 7, make it 4th down and 4 on the 7-yard completion. And so now it'll be 4th down and about 4, make it 5. So decision time for Coach Maupin. I've got to think this deep in their territory, he's probably going to go for it. And nope, never mind. Holding against the Bulldogs. So wipe out the 7-yard completion. Well, these years I'm going to start doing this in pencil. And so it'll be a 10-yard penalty against Artesia. So they'll get another crack at 3rd down, but instead of 3rd and 11, it'll be 3rd and 21. Pardon me. So the Wildcats catching a break there as that'll move it back into Artesia territory. They'll take it. There we go. Yep, they'll put it right on one of the points of the Bulldog collar.
really
back at their own 47-yard line.
taking advantage of gifts that you're given is going to be important, because your Artesia's not known for a lot of mistakes.
No, they're not. So now 3rd down and 21. Golden opportunity for the Cats defense.
No, you're good.
Estrada back to pass. Pressure comes. He's going to be sacked back inside the 40 at the 38-yard line. DeMarcus Thompson in on the stop. Patrick Sanchez getting him too, and that'll be a 9-yard sack on the quarterback, Nye Estrada. And so it'll be 4th down and call it 30. So 4th and Carlsbad basically for Artesia, and it'll be punt time for the Bulldogs.
Nice work. We said that, they needed a little help, and then they needed to capitalize and make something out of what they were given, and they did.
So it'll be 4th and 30, and the punt comes. Lovington brings some pressure, but not a lot. Good high booming punt as Lovington. Betancourt will field it on the hop at the 20, gets to the 21, but he took it on the hop, and that gave Artesia time to get to him and brings him down in a hurry. This is on the stop. We'll call that Juan Diego Duran. Trying to catch another number there, too. That was Omar Solis bringing him down. So Lovington will have it 1st and 10. They'll mark it at the 22-yard line.
Now they got to finish capitalizing on that mistake that Art made that led to the to the punt, and now, even though they don't have great field advantage, they've got the ball back to work with.
So now the defenses come up like they've needed to. Let's see if the offense can do it. Alec Olguin is actually the running back this time. High snap, wide handles it, throws it underneath, complete to Ribeiro at the 22, spins away from a man, across the 25, trying to get to the sideline, and he's going to be run into the Artesia sideline at the 30-yard line.
Nice move.
Yes, it was.
He just refused to go down.
It'll be a
They grabbed his jersey. Again, they Artesia not showing really good tackle technique. They just grabbed his jersey, and Rivero was able to spin away and get a few more yards. Awesome.
So 9 yards on the carry, or on the completion, I should say. So it'll be 2nd down and 1. Alec Olguin still in as the running back from the near hash mark. Twins left, twins right. Gomez gets it, fakes the handoff, and he'll throw the wide receiver screen. Rivero trying to get it to him again, but it is in and out of his hands as the fastball a little too hot to handle. Caden Grantham on the coverage, and so it'll be incomplete, and 3rd down and 1.
I like the idea. They were trying to get it in and then out of Wyatt's hands just as quickly as possible. They just missing a little bit of execution there.
Yeah, and Artesia had runs sniffed out, and so they collapsed in on the middle. They had good coverage on the near side, but I think you could have gotten 2-3 yards out of that, which would have been enough for the 1st down. So Gomez will survey the scene with twins one side and the other way, and that one is going to be a bad throw, and it'll be a pickoff. As coming back with it
26
is going to be number 26, and he's going to lateral it to number 20, who's going to take off the other way, stiff arms a man, spins around, and is inside the 30 to the 28-yard line as Frankie Galindo with the interception, and then to Philip Finley Rascon.
Right.
So the INT, and that gives Artesia a gift. We've seen this story before just a few minutes ago. It'll be 1st and 10 from Artesia at the 27-yard line, eerily reminiscent to their opening drive of the ball game.
Yeah, ouch. Again, that's you just needed 1 yard.
I think maybe trying to get a little cute there.
And that's even tougher to take, when you're going for, longer yardage. But when it's short yardage and you turn the ball over, it's hard to take.
From the 27-yard line inside Lovington territory after the turnover. Back to pass Estrada going down the far seam. Has a man falling into the end zone and incomplete.
Good coverage by Betancourt and Reeves
if
down
Cazares can hang on to that one, it is a touchdown. But he cannot, so incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 as Artesian Coach Maupin wanting to go ahead and try and put a kill shot in right there after the turnover. 7:04 to go, 1st quarter. Artesia up 8-0 and trying to take advantage of a Lovington turnover. Now 2nd and 10 from the Wildcat 27. Twins left, twins to the right from the far hash mark. Galindo is the back, with Estrada the quarterback. In the H-back position. Waiting for it. Estrada hands it off right up the gut. Galindo Gets it to about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6 for Galindo, and it'll be third down and a pretty manageable 5 yards for Artesia. They just got a hole up front. Lovington's defensive line is outweighed probably about 35, 40 pounds a man up there.
Yeah.
So good technique and getting help from the linebacking core is going to be very important. So 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs from the 22. It'll be the option pitch to Galindo on the near side. He's inside the 20, inside the 15 to the 10. Gets away from a tackle, makes a little juke move and into the corner of the end zone. Galindo for the touchdown from 22 yards out, and the Bulldogs take the early 14-0 lead, and we're still not at the halfway point of the first quarter.
You know, I thought that Lovington was going to be able to reach out and get him down a couple of different times. That was a really good run. Credit where credit's due. He was able to zig and zag and tiptoe his way through and fight his way into the end zone.
So now a 14-0 Artesia lead, and it looks like they will come on to attempt the extra point. Went for 2 at the beginning. Looks like they'll try and make it a 15-point game here as they await the snap. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. With 6:30 remaining in the first quarter, it's Artesia 15, Lovington yet to get on the board. Back in 60 seconds, Wildcat football continues on KZOR. As Parrish will pop it up, it'll take a bounce, and that one is going to be loose on the turf. Lovington going to fight for it, and it is a dog pile inside the 15-yard line. Artesia seems to think they've got it, and they do. The Artesia Bulldogs take advantage of another Lovington miscue, as that was a live ball. Jaden Garza got over there and touched it, but couldn't corral it, and it kicks over, and Artesia will have their second turnover, and Lovington just gave them another absolute gift. Fortunately, there's a flag on the play. Let's hope it goes against the orange, and it happened before the turnover. So
the ball took such a big bounce.
They're signaling holding on Lovington. If that's the case, it will be declined in Artesia football. So it will be Artesia football. They still haven't signaled up to the booth what the call is. No, that wasn't a flag. It was actually the fumble marker.
Yeah, they were marking where.
So Artesia will have it 1st and 10 from the Lovington 14 after the Wildcats cough up their second turnover of the ball game. Strada with Galindo in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Nope, they give it to Galindo. He sweeps to the right side to the 5. Runs over a man into the end zone as nothing Cesar Gonzalez can do as Galindo a big load. And it'll be another Artesia Bulldog touchdown. 14 yards for Frankie Galindo, who has 51 yards on the ground. And it just like that, 21-0 Artesia. Lovington is just reeling right now. Sounds like we may have a little reverse situation of what happened in Capitan. That game is already over, 30 minutes into it. And Artesia will go for 2. Estrada looks to pass, throws it into the end zone, and of course it's good, as they will get that one to Kahn, and they'll make it a 23-0 score, and we're still not even halfway through this first quarter. Let's go ahead and take another 30-second timeout. We'll be back as the Wildcats try and put it together here on KZOR. Back here at the Bulldog Bowl as they have had a penalty. I totally missed that one on the point after attempt. So Artesia will come out and try to do the point after again. So our score is still 21-0. Yeah, talking a minute ago, the Jowl Panthers game already over as they whooped up on Capitan 50-0. That game ending at halftime.
Actually, I think it was midway through the second quarter. It ended up before half.
I guess Capitan said no, they were done with it. It will be a penalty on Artesia, so a 10-yard Bulldog penalty. So they'll have to re-attempt the point after. So it is holding against the Bulldogs. So they'll come out and Parrish will try and kick the extra point this time maybe. Wind up being the equivalent of a 30-yard field goal. Ball spotted at the 20. It's where the point of the ball will go down. So I'm going to try and make it a 22-0 ball game. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. Probably would have been good from about another 15 yards back. We'll just keep it right here as Artesia now up 22-0 with 6:19 to go in the first half. And, well, Dawn Morgan, field side. Evie Stuber in studio engineering and producing. Brad Henderson running the camera tonight. So if you're the Wildcats, you've got to just put the last 5 minutes and basically 40 seconds behind you, and you've got to hit reset on this game, and you've got to do it right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what they have to do. Just start fresh, right? Start fresh and do the best you can, and try not to make mistakes. Lovington has made a couple, and Artesia has made them pay dearly for those mistakes.
Yeah, two turnovers have turned into 2 touchdowns.
Artesia had a couple of mistakes, and it did not have the same. Lovington wasn't quite able to make the same hay out of sunshine there. So
yeah, Lovington has been able to capitalize on the mistakes of the other team the last 3 weeks, and haven't managed to so far tonight. So hey, they'll try again. We still got a long way to go in this one. Fight their way back into this one, but so far in the battle of canines and felines, the canines are getting the better of it. And Dawn, have you gotten in on any tackles yet tonight?
No, but I have been in the process of trying to hunt down the players who helped me out.
The right side to the left. Wyatt pulls to the right. Pressure throws Ethan. On him. A big hit waiting to happen. And Rivero can't hold on to it, and it'll be a 2nd down and 10 from the Wildcat 39. 6:15 remaining here in the first half, or rather the first quarter.
And Lovington has the luxury of taking their time. They can just take a deep breath, take their time, figure out what they're doing, be very deliberate, and maybe just really think about execution. Thompson will be
by himself to the left side. Twins to the right, tight end in the game on that right side. Fake that handoff. Nope, they will hand. Nope, keeping it himself is Wyatt, and he'll throw it on the run to Rivero, and he drops to the turf, and the ball is out, and it will be a completed catch, and then a fumble, and Artesia will have it back at the 41-yard line. Linebacker who stripped it out. So now Artesia given another gift. Lovington 3 turnovers, and we're still not at the halfway point of this first quarter yet. So from the Wildcat 41-yard line, they've pretty much been living in Lovington territory tonight.
It may have been 17. That one I may have thought was a 7 was a 1.
Send a man in motion. Estrada to pass. Rolls to the left. Flag on the play. We've got a hold on it. So Estrada will just take it out. This one's going to be coming back from 10 yards as DeMarcus Thompson taking a nap on DeMarcus was Enrique Mendoris. I wouldn't want that kid taking a nap on me. He's 6'3", 300 pounds. So it'll be a hold on Artesia, their 4th penalty of the ball game for 35 yards, and it'll move them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And it was well behind the line. It's 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, so move them back to the Artesia 49-yard line. Really, the penalties about the only thing that's held Artesia back tonight. 4 penalties, 35 yards.
Yeah, and I do think I saw, I think it was number 17, Casares, who did the strip on that on that fumble.
All right.
Not 11, I think. From the side, the 1 and the 7 looked like a 1-1.
Well, at least you got it closer than I did a few minutes ago. So from the shotgun, Estrada back to pass on 1st and 20. Throws a little screen, has a man at the 50. A little shake and bake move. That is Casares, but refusing to let go is Kyler Reeves.
Yeah, nice tackle.
So that's going to be 14 yards on the completion.
Yeah, good technique. He got him around the middle and just, turned him around, spun him around, hauled him down. Finish on that.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 15 to go, as they did spot that from where they needed to. So on a 2nd down and 15, 5:18 remaining. Estrada back to pass, has time, wants it all, goes deep and overthrows his intended target. That was a timing route there, and Lovington's secondary doing a nice job holding up the receiver
Duran.
Just long enough to get that one to fall incomplete. So Duran was the intended target. So it's 3rd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Clock stops with 5:12 to go here in the first quarter. Been all Artesia in this one so far. See what Coach Maupin pulls out of the bag of tricks for 3rd and long. They're going to put 3 receivers on the near side, bunch them in tight. Single receiver up to the left, and he split out way wide to the left. As Estrada goes up, changes the play, and timeout going to be taken by Coach Maupin. 5:12 to go, first quarter. All Artesia so far in this one, 22-0. We're back in 30 seconds here on KZOR. Back here in Artesia, the Bulldogs take a timeout facing a 3rd down and 15. They're already up by 3 touchdowns, but trying to add to it. 5:12 remaining here in the first quarter. Don Morgan Field side, I'm TJ Miracle, high above the Bulldog Bowl. Brad Henderson running the camera tonight on the Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. And Evie Stuber running the 3-ring circus back at One Radio Square. Twins left, single receiver to the right side, and on the right side for the Bulldogs. Lovington brings the blitz, breaks down, back to pass Estrada, going to get flushed, lets it fly, does he hit, and almost picked off, as coming across the formation was Zadrick Betancourt. To it before it goes out of bounds, so it'll be 4th and 15 for the Bulldogs. I seriously doubt they're going to punt it here.
Gutierrez was over there on good coverage as well.
Yes, he was. Well, and looks like they are going to pull the offense out and put the special teamers out there. So it'll be a punt for Artesia. Looks like that's Carrillo to do the punting duties. Number 54, that's Diego Wesson to do the punting duties. So Wesson to punt. Lovington going to come after it. Although you've got to be careful. Artesia can fake it. So it's a low snap. Wesson gets it off the turf, and I think they thought about maybe doing something a little squirrely there, but because that one was a low snap, Wesson does have to boot it out and boots it all the way to the end zone. So it'll wind up being a 54-yard punt, no return. Bring it out to the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Just need to concentrate on hanging on to the football on this possession.
Right.
3 turnovers already for Lovington.
Right.
Still just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Just try to execute, make no mistakes, hang on to the ball, take your time, and just think about it.
As Rivero going to come out late, so we'll have a late substitution coming in. As Gomez will relay the play to the rest of the Cats. Cameron Ochoa now in the ball game. He'll be on the left shoulder in a 4-receiver set. Send a man in motion and hand it off to that motion man. Finding a little room and out to the 25, make it the 26-yard line. Alec Olguin on the end around picks up 6, and it'll be 2nd down and 4. Nice little movement, motion offense right there. And it got guys going one way, and you come around and you take their momentum, and you get a good gain out of it. 2nd down and 4. for the Wildcats.
Just to note, my score bug twice now has, for no reason that I can ascertain, just dumped everything and reset. So I'm trying to keep a closer eye on that.
As Gomez back to pass, but whistles sound, and we are going to have movement on the line. It should be false start on the Wildcats as they were moving around trying to get pass protection set up. And, actually it's going to be offsides on Artesia.
Good.
As they were bringing the blitz and jumped the count. So the 5-yard penalty against the Bulldogs, and that'll be a Wildcat first down, their first of the ball game.
Well, you take what you're given, and then you try to make more out of it.
So move it out to the Bulldog 31-yard line, 4:15 remaining first quarter. Artesia comfortably in command of this one, but Lovington trying to fight back towards it. With twins to the left, twins to the right. Gomez waits for it, and as Artesia was stunting and somebody moved. The question is, did Artesia break the plane?
Right.
Nope, false start on Lovington as they were shifting at the wrong time as they saw Artesia starting to stunt in the back in the defensive secondary. So you get 5, you lose 5, but it's still first down, 1st and 15. They'll just move them back to the 26-yard line. 2 penalties, 20 yards against the Cats. As Lovington will continue to try and get something going here. So 1st and 15 from their own 26-yard line. In a 4-receiver set. Wyatt back to pass, going to be flushed. Rolls right, looks downfield, still looking. Lets it fly, and that one is going to be overthrown. Cesar Gonzalez was in the neighborhood. That's really just a throwaway, but you got to have somebody at least kind of, sort of around.
Somebody that, can conceivably catch that had it been, thrown, but he just basically ran out of real estate. He got pushed out and just had to dump it.
Yeah, good pressure put on by the Bulldogs. Kellen Worley coming on the backside and forcing Wyatt to basically just have to run for his life. So it'll be 2nd down and 15 for the Wildcats. 4:06 to go, first quarter. We've seen a lot in this first quarter. Maybe more in this first quarter than sometimes we see in whole games. Trips to the left, one to the right. Wyatt looks to the right, comes back across the middle, has Thompson. He shakes and bakes across the 30, gets a block to the 35 to the 40, and across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. It'll be a 17 move change for the Wildcats.
Low and 4. I'm high.
That was Messon.
Yeah. 4. That was after he was able to get that first down. So nice run, nice moves. He paid for it.
So that'll move them out. They'll spot the ball at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10 for the trying to get the offense.
I think on the is going to do wonders for their.
Game on the Wildcats, but they're going to tack them back 15 yards for the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
So they'll start off, 1st and 25?
Well, they'll start out 1st and 10, then just move them way back inside the 20.
All right.
Should move them back to about the 10-yard line. Then the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
At least they're pinned really deep.
Again, Coach Maupin, I think, would probably say we played pretty good, but just too many penalties, and it will be unsportsmanlike conduct on Artesia after they get their 4th turnover of the ball game. So move them back to the 15-yard line. But it'll be first down for the Bulldogs. 3:21 to go here in the first. Twins to the left and twins to the right. Like I said, I think I heard their guys call it their A formation. Single back in the backfield is Galindo. Quarterback is Estrada. They're at the line, ready to go. Lovington, 4 men across the front. Estrada looks to pass. Just a little dump off, and good coverage by the Wildcats as nowhere to go for Artesia. And they kept going in. I think maybe the ball hit the turf. Patrick Sanchez on the tackle.
Well,
and was that Galindo that caught the pass?
Yeah, it was. And, of course, Valentin Herrera was the big guy who fell on him.
They're going to give him back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Again, a 4-receiver set. Galindo on the right shoulder of Estrada. Hand it to Galindo. Comes near side. Has some room out across the 20 to the 25 to the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 11 for Galindo. And it'll move the chains for Artesia. Just their second first down of the ball game. Well, they've got 3 scores on the board. They've still got more touchdowns than they do first downs.
They've scored almost as soon as they've gotten possession of the ball each time.
Yes, they have. Lovington will put 4 men across the front this time. Strada handles it, comes to the near sideline. It'll be complete as grabbing it and then stepping out of bounds will be number 10, Matthew Size. He's going to pick up 5 yards, bring him out to the 32-yard line. That'll be 42 yards through the air for Estrada. Now 2nd down and 5. Clock stops with 2:21 remaining here in the first. Lovington shows blitz on 2nd down and 5. Cats come. Estrada dumps it to Galindo, who would have been better served to just drop that one, but he catches it and loses yards. So Galindo is going to lose a couple on that play. So that'll make it a 3rd down. Wow, he lost more than a couple. He lost about 4 on the play. So 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs with under 2 minutes to play here in the first. As Artesia's had the big plays, but they haven't managed to put a sustained drive together. This could be another big stand for the Lovington D right here.
And the coaches are calling for more fan noise. As
Estrada throws it, going over the shoulder, has a man in stride, down inside Lovington territory to the 30-yard line. Is
Casadas.
So Casadas with the big gainer. That'll be 10, 20, 30, 41 yards to Casadas. And it'll be another Artesia first down. They're going into the hurry-up offensive mode right now. Estrada with it. Hands it to Galindo on a sweep to the left side. Runs into the Wildcat teeth of the defense as he crosses the 25 down to about the 23-yard line. It'll be a 9-yard gain for Galindo. 8 carries, 71 yards for that young man. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Under a minute now to play here in the first quarter. Artesia on the march again and knocking on the door of the Lovington red zone. Twins left, twins to the right. Estrada waits, sends a man in motion left to right. Fake the handoff, and they will throw it to that motion man. A little stutter step as he crosses the 20 and is going to be run back at about the 17-yard line. So give it to Lopez. It's a 5-yard gain, but it's enough for the Artesia first down. And to Diego Lopez. And I'm waiting, I'm looking. What's his number, Dawn?
I'm sorry, which one are you
Lopez. That's okay. I'll pick it up at some point. So Diego Lopez on the catch, his first catch of the season.
25.
And they will throw it underneath, and it'll be complete to the 10-yard line. So Kahn will get it up to the 10. It'll be an 8-yard completion. Kahn, his second catch of the ball game. That'll be 94 yards through the air for Estrada in the first quarter with 3, with 2, with 1. And they'll let the first quarter expire and we'll flip ends. But all Artesia in the first quarter as they lead the Lovington Wildcats by a score 22-0. We're back in 1 minute on Z94 KZOR. Back here in Artesia, start of the second quarter, the Bulldogs in the lead 22-0 over the Wildcats, and they are deep in Cat territory. They are at the Lovington 10-yard line with a second down and 2 to go. So start of the second quarter, Artesia trying to stretch it out here on this Friday evening. Estrada from the shotgun, high snap, handles it, hands it off to Galindo, sweeps it to the right side inside the 5, and he will take it into the end zone for another Bulldog touchdown. That is his third touchdown run of the night. So yikes, as that'll stretch it out to 28-0 on the first play of the second quarter. Well, I'm thinking Artesia got to be thinking, hey, let's get this to running clock and maybe get some of our younger players in there. So now the point after to come. So Parrish, the kicker, going to kick it the other way this time. If they choose to go for 2, and they will sweep it around and into the end zone, dragging a Wildcat with him is the upman as Alec Olguin. Nothing he can do against Diego Wesson as he is a freight train through there. So that'll make it a 30-0 lead in favor of Artesia. The Cats having their trouble against the Dogs tonight. We'll just keep it right here. Say a big thanks to our friends at Lovington Auto Supply, Lovington Schools, Bob Thriftway, Lee County Electric Cooperative, Man Welding, Stone Oilfield Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, Devon Energy, CYA Trucking Insurance, and Eastern New Mexico University. Appreciate them making it possible for us to bring you Wildcat football here on Z94 KZOR. With Dawn Morgan fieldside, I'm TJ Miracle. As Brad Henderson helping us with the camera tonight. As we continue our journey through this one. So Lovington again is just kind of getting steamrolled by not only the number 1 team in 5A, but the number 1 team in the state. You know, I can see now why this Artesia team beat Cleveland, and I'm not sure the last time Cleveland has lost to a New Mexico team. You know, I mean, the joke around the state a lot of times is, well, the Cleveland Storm could probably hang with the Dallas Cowboys, and Artesia beat them last week. So,
wow. Yeah.
So for sure, this Artesia team is formidable. Lovington is a little formidable themselves, but they've got to get over the Bulldog mystique as the kickoff. It'll be a high end over ender. It'll be a short one that is going to bounce and go out of bounds, and so that'll be a penalty. So I'm thinking Lovington will probably opt to take the ball at the 35 instead of making them re-kick it.
I would think.
We shall see.
Looks
and
like
nope,
it.
they're going to make them re-kick it.
Re-kick it. Wow. Okay.
So Lovington is opting for the re-kick on the kickoff out of bounds. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Bulldogs. Now their 7th penalty for 60 yards. They'll move them back to their own 35-yard line where Parrish will kick it away again. Coach G trying to get it in the hands of his skill players. Electing to take the opportunity, throw the dice, and see if they can get a big return here. So Parrish will kick it deep this time, and drifting back is Rivero. He'll get it at the 10, brings it out to the 15, to the 20, and out to the 23. Gets away from him and to the 30, to the 34-yard line. He got swarmed, and so Coach G throws the dice, and it winds up pretty much being craps as you get it pretty much where you would have had it to begin with. They'll spot it at the 33. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from their own 33-yard line. Going to be important for them to keep the ball and burn some time off of this clock, I'm thinking.
I think there's something to be said for working to earn where you are on the field rather than take what you're given. Maybe that was the point, just to fire these guys up.
Maybe, and it was a good return to be sure. So fake the handoff and then throw it underneath. It'll be complete to Gonzalez, and he is slung down behind the line, back inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. It is complete, but it'll be a loss of 5 on the play to Cesar Gonzalez, his first catch of the night, but it'll be 2nd down and 15.
That was big senior Francisco Caleo, number 58, who took him down.
No, Lovington is having trouble with protection, and Artesia just seems to basically be in the Lovington huddle with them. There's nothing. I mean, the longest play from scrimmage tonight, 17 yards, to DeMarcus Thompson, and that was on a little crossing route, but Wyatt was under huge pressure even on that.
I don't know. I feel a little offensive energy here.
Split Olguin out wide to the right from the motion. Pump fake, and Gomez is just
somehow
he gets away from it. Gomez rolls near side, looks, throws it across his body and skips it in, as that was an ill-advised pass, but brilliant getting away from pressure.
Yeah.
So incomplete, and it'll make it a 3rd down and 15. He had some room. I'm not sure why he didn't just take off and slide down.
Yeah, just run. Run as far as you could get and then slide.
But disaster averted somehow on that, and the Cats will live to play another down. So 3rd down and 15 from their own 28-yard line, 10:48 to go in the first half. Artesia already knocking on the door, running clock. So stacked Twins to the left and right this time. Blitz comes, throw it underneath, and in and out of Ribeiro's hands as Elijah's not able to hold on to it.
And he can't believe it. I think he just could not believe. His hands went up to his helmet immediately like, oh,
David Hammond, the secondary senior, was bearing in on him.
Yeah.
Would have been another big hit, but incomplete. So 4th and 15 and punt time now for the Cats as Patrick Sanchez to punt it away. So the Cats kind of sputtering out on the offensive side. Bounce, and it'll go inside the 40 and roll out there. So, yeah, partially blocked, but it still manages to punch through. So it'll be Bulldog football from the 40-yard line. 10:37 to go in the first half. As they're going to be looking to get this one to running clock. And they score on this possession. If they score a touchdown anyway, that's exactly what would happen. As Estrada will bring the play in from the sideline, 1st and 10. 60-yard field to work with for the Bulldogs. You know, the Wildcat defense going to try and find another stand in them. Keep this one from going to the running clock rules. Estrada from the shotgun, hard count. Lovington almost jumps, doesn't break. Hand it to Galindo near side. He's across the 40. And across midfield, but a flag flies. I think we're going to have a hold, maybe a block in the back. But this one will be coming back. So another flag, and it will be holding on Artesia. So that'll wipe that run out of the books. 8 penalties for 70 yards against the Bulldogs. So wipe out the first down and move it back. So from where it happened, it winds up being about a 5-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st down and 15 for the Bulldogs. I think they're discussing if it's from the line or from the spot, and they've determined it is from the spot. Artesia's already coming up to the line and ready to go on this one. So 1st, and they'll move it back to the 33-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 17 for Artesia. Again, a 4-receiver set, 2 left, 2 right. High snap, hand it to Galindo, starts it to the right, comes back to the left, and just goes out to about the 39-yard line. Pick up a 5 for Galindo. So it'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 2nd and 11 after a 6-yard gain. 96 yards on the ground for Galindo. 86 yards on the ground for Galindo. Forgot to wipe out the run a minute ago. So again, Twins to the left, Twins to the right. Waiting on it is Estrada. Has time. Now he's going to get flushed. Rolls to the right side. Pressure comes. Still looking and fires it, and incomplete into the sidelines as nobody home over there. Well, somebody was home, but we've got another flag. So probably in the neighborhood of holding in the backfield, I would think.
It came out back there pretty early. So
we will wait and see what the call is going to be. As the white cap will come up and tells us holding on Lovington.
Oh.
So defensive holding, that's one you don't see every day. 3rd penalty on the Cats for 30 yards. And that'll move Artesia up 10 yards. And they'll replay 2nd down, but now it'll be 2nd and 1 instead of 2nd and 11. So Artesia getting a break there on a defensive holding. Pretty good crowd tonight here at the Bulldog Bowl. You'd expect that at homecoming. A lot of blue over on the on the visiting side. That's good to see. So after the 10-yard penalty, 2nd and 1 for the Bulldogs. Twins left, Twins right. Galindo is the deep back. Send Casares in motion, and he'll get it on the pitch. Looking for a little room, turns the corner. Stutter step, high steps into Lovington territory, still on his feet. And he'll take it down to the Wildcat 40-yard line as Casares will take it 11 yards, and Artesia gets the first down, their 5th of the ball game.
That was Reeves and Hind with the primaries in on that stop. Ended up kind of swarming him once he was down.
So 1st and 10 from inside Lovington territory. Nose of the ball right at the Wildcat 40. 7, make that 9.5 to go here in the second quarter. From the far hash mark, send a man in motion again, fake the handoff to the motion man. Strada wants it all. He goes down the field and overthrows his intended target, Juan Diego Duran. He kind of slipped and got a little tangled up with a Lovington defender, and so that one goes over his head. Incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
That was Cesar Gonzalez, I think, that really held him up a little bit.
Yeah, not in the sense of pass interference hold up.
No, it was clean. It was clean coverage. But
the turf monster, who you cannot call for pass interference, might have slipped a little bit. 1 or 2 the other way too. Twins left, Twins right. Galindo is the deep back. Lovington shows blitz. Hand it to Galindo on the sweep to the near side. He's got a little room across the 35 to the 30, 25, and just bowls into a man as he goes out at the 20 as Alec Olguin has taken a couple of huge hits tonight. They're going to mark him inside the 20 down at the 18-yard line. Galindo, the 22-yard run, and it'll be an Artesia first down. He now has 108 on the ground on 11 carries. And they are inside the Wildcat red zone once again with 9:05 to go here in the first half, trying to get this one to running clock. 4 receiver set once again. Zestrada back to pass, waits, throws, and almost picked off. There's a little miscommunication with his receiver over on the near side. Olguin actually went closer to Olguin than it did the intended target. Turn this way so I can see your number, young man. That's Juan Diego Duran, the intended receiver. So incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 19-yard line. 9 minutes exactly remaining in the first half, and Artesia on the march once again. Estrada stays on at quarterback. Lovington shows blitz. Bringing 5 men up to the line, now backing out of it. Fake the handoff, throw it. That'll be complete to the 10-yard line and a touchdown-saving tackle.
DeMarcus Thompson picks up, gets his hand around the ankle and brings him down.
6-yard completion, though, to Jack Byers, and that will put Estrada right at 100 yards for the game. So that'll be a 2nd down and 4 now for Artesia. So Byers, his first catch of the evening out of his tight end position. The Artesia offensive staff sending the play into Estrada, who will give it to the rest of his orange-clad teammates. So inside the Wildcat red zone and trying for another first down. And they will hand it off, and Galindo nowhere to go as good coverage for the Wildcats as converging was Michael Hine and Elon Clayton.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be right back to the line of scrimmage for Galindo. So no gain, and it'll be 4th down and 4. And Artesia is going to elect to go for it on 4th down. I can't talk all of a sudden. So on a 4th down and 4, the Wildcat D trying to make a big stop, and timeout going to be taken by Coach Maupin. He will take his 2nd timeout of the first half. 8:10 to go first half. Artesia 30, Lovington's trying to get on the board. Keep it right where it is. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KZOR. Welcome back to Wildcat Football here on Z94 KZOR Hobbs Lovington, the Z94 KZOR app, HobbsAmerica.com, pardon me, and the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. With Dawn Morgan fieldside, I'm TJ Miracle, Evie Stuber running the three-ring circus back in one radio square. Brad Henderson on the camera tonight. So out of the Bulldog timeout, it'll be 4th down and 4 deep in Wildcat territory. Artesia trying to get this into running clock neighborhood. High snap. Hand it to Galindo. He takes it to the right side, and he goes into the end zone, and it is an Artesia touchdown once again. It's Frankie Galindo, his 4th touchdown of the night, takes it 14 yards to the house, and we are in running clock time as Artesia leads this one now 36-0 over the Wildcats. He just bowled through there. He got a good block on the line, too, that opened the hole.
From 66, Armendariz. He did. He kind of just followed the blocks and then opened the hole, went through it.
So the Bulldogs do look like they will attempt the point after this time. Parrish to kick it out of the hold of Cazares. Galindo, his 4th touchdown of the night. As the kick is up, and it is going to be good. And the new kicker, actually, that was Philip Finley Rascon, number 20. And it is good, so 37-0. It will be running clock time here at the Bulldog Bowl. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Z94 KZOR. Back here in Artesia at the Bulldog Bowl. It has been all Artesia in this battle of number 1 ranked teams. So far, the 5A team getting the better of the 4A team, 37-0. We've still got 8 minutes to go in the first half. It will be a very fast 8 minutes because the only time the clock will stop now is for changes of possession and timeouts in the end of the quarter. If Lovington, though, could score on this possession, any kind of score, even a field goal, that would get it under the 35 points and keep this going. So Rascon, nope, that's Parrish who will do the kickoff duties. Puts it at the 40. Lovington arrayed out in their normal kickoff array as it'll be a line drive kick. It's going to be fielded back at the 10, bringing it out to the 15, to the 20. That's Gutierrez to the 25 and out to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 27. Great to have you with us tonight, wherever you are around southeast New Mexico, West Texas on Z94 KZOR, or anywhere around the world on the Z94 KZOR app for the audio, or the Lovington Sports YouTube channel worldwide. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. Tell your friends and family, too. You always get to watch for free right there, thanks to those sponsors you see at the bottom of the screen. So Lovington will come back out in a running clock situation, trying to find something, anything. Option look, and whoa, Wyatt will get away from another one. Escapes that one. He's just going to tuck it and take it himself, and he's going to run it and get a yard or two before he is met by an orange wall. But started right, went left, ran at the end of the play about 60 yards to pick up 2, but you'll take it, and it is 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that.
And Wyatt has not been sacked tonight. He's gotten away from a couple that looked like they had him dead to rights, but somehow, some way, he got away from it. Diego Wesson was the one whose grasp he slipped out of that time. So 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats with twins left, twins right. Olguin in motion. Wyatt with it. Throw the quick pass underneath to Gonzalez, and he'll be back out to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5 to Cesar. So make it a 3rd down and 3 now. So 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats as Gomez. Tough sledding tonight. Only 17 yards through the air with a couple of picks. Has not had time to try and take one deep. Just too much pressure coming from the Bulldogs.
Probably the best 3 offensive plays that they've been able to put together in a row here in this game tonight.
3rd and 3, Artesia showing blitz. as Gomez will take it, throws it to Gonzalez. He'll have the first down out to the 40-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pitch and catch to Cesar. And so it'll be first down for the Wildcats, their third of the ball game. So move it right up to the 40.
It kind of feels like, even though, the scoreboard, they're down 37-0, it feels like they're breathing for the first time in this game.
Of course, we do have some second-line players going in for Artesia this series, looks like.
Right.
So Lovington finding a little room against the Artesia second team. They'll come out in a 3-4 look. They will bring the blitz as Wyatt running left side, and Wesson brings him down. He fires the ball, and somehow it is complete.
And that's DeMarcus Thompson grabbing it.
So DeMarcus.
Incredible, really close coverage by 21 and 22 over here. That's Hammond and Rodriguez.
So it'll be a 4-yard completion, and somehow Wyatt gets that one away before he's brought down by Wesson. I don't know how that left his hand before the knee went down or before he hyperextended something. To be that young again. But he's up and moving, and it is second down and 7. Make it second and 6. Split Olguin out wide to the right in motion. Or wide to the left, pardon me. And on the end around, give it to DeMarcus Thompson. He's to the 50, and DeMarcus will take it up. He'll get 8 yards out of it and move the chains. First down, Wildcats.
He went 5 yards before Artesia figured out who had the ball. It was great movement, good execution.
So 8 yards for DeMarcus, and it'll put Lovington inside Artesia territory, maybe for the first time tonight. So from the Artesia 49, it is on the cheek of the Bulldog with 4 minutes remaining here in the first half of play. Lovington trying to punch one in and get that clock to quit running. Twins left, Twins right. Hand it off. Cameron Ochoa right into the teeth of the Bulldog defense, and he'll get 2 yards out of it before being brought down by Caden Grantham. Among others, Grantham on the stop, also Dylan Fisher. So Ochoa just his second carry on the night, and it'll be second down and 8. Clock, of course, continuing to move. As up to the line come the Wildcats. Twins to the right. Single receiver out wide to the right. Going in max protect mode. Take the handoff to Garza, then throw it on the run, and that will be complete to Anson Marquez. And Wesson will bring him down. Get a little assist there, too, from Johnson. It'll be a pickup of 3 for Marquez, his first catch of the night. So it'll be third down and 5 for the Wildcats. Then now third and 5 for the Cats. Again, time moves very quickly when the clock doesn't stop for things.
Right, under 3 minutes now.
Of course, Lovington will have the ball to start the second half. Really going to do everything they can to keep Artesia from, I think, getting the ball back. They do still have all 3 timeouts. Artesia with just 1. Trips to the left, 1 to the right, and flags fly. What could they have called? Offsides on Artesia is what they'll call.
Lovington gets a break.
Yes, they do. So a 5-yard penalty for Artesia, and it'll be enough for another Lovington first down, their 5th of the ball game.
That's 2 first downs that Lovington has gained from Artesia penalties tonight.
Yes, it has, as it'll move them inside the Bulldog 40 down to the 38-yard line. Clock continues to move with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Lovington, 3 receiver set, Twins left, 1 right. Single back in the backfield is Olguin. Hand it to Alec coming near side, but he gets spun down and nowhere to go as Caden Grantham will rip him down behind the line. He's going to lose 5 on the play. And so that'll bring up a second down and 15. Make it second and 14. So that one didn't work quite like you planned. Artesia, though, you got to give them credit. They are extremely athletic. And really, they're just kind of manhandling the Wildcats out there on the gridiron. So trips left, 1 to the right. Lovington trying to stop the onslaught as throwing it across, and that one will be complete.
Rivero.
So Rivero will have it, and it'll be good for 7 yards before he is brought down by Wesson. So Rivero, that'll be his 3rd catch of the night for 18 yards. But it'll be third down and 9 for the Wildcats. Not getting in any huge hurry here with 1:20 to go in the half. So going to stack Twins left, Twins right. Olguin is the single back in the backfield. Now they're going to split Alec out. Back to pass. They'll throw it to Olguin, but he didn't turn around quite in time. He trying to get him running, incomplete. So it'll be 4th and 9 for the Cats. I've got to think Lovington's going to go for it here with under a minute to play in the half and knowing they're going to get the ball back.
Right.
If you're Artesia, though, do you call a timeout or do you wait until after 4th down and then maybe, see if you can shoot one into the end zone?
I think Artesia is going to be happy just to.
And a timeout will be taken.
But I think it's Lovington's timeout.
So the Wildcats will take it with 47 seconds to go in the half. We'll just keep it right here. Of course, we've got your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show coming up from Lovington Auto Supply. Also, our Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. I have a feeling Coach G is not going to be a happy camper, but he'll come up with something, I'm pretty sure. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Lovington Auto Supply, Lovington Schools, Bob's Thriftway, Lee County Electric Cooperative, Man Welding, Stonewall Field Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, Devon Energy, CYA Trucking Insurance, and Eastern New Mexico University. Of course, tonight on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel, if you haven't already subscribed, please do that. We've already given away $100. And, hey, once we get another 1,000 on there, so once we get to 2,000, I'll take another $100 out of my pocket and award that money to somebody. Just my way of saying thanks for subscribing to the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. Doesn't come from the sponsors or the station. Comes out of my pocket, so please subscribe and take my money. So Lovington out of the timeout. 47 seconds remaining in the half. Going to come out and 3 receivers wide, or rather stacked up near side, really as tight ends, and they put Olguin out wide left. Back to pass under pressure and hit as he throws, and that one will be incomplete for the Wildcats. And so over on downs for the Artesia Bulldogs. And so now they've got 1 timeout and 20 seconds to work with. And the clock will continue. I thought it stopped on changes of possession, but I guess not. So Artesia, I think, going to be content just to take it on to the end of the locker room, up 37-0. As they have had it pretty much their way here in this first half. 37-0 is the score as the teams will head to the locker room. So, Dawn, as soon as you get Coach G, you go ahead and take it away for your Lovington Auto Supply before we get to the halftime show for Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. The Cats got some work to do here at the half if they want this to be a full second half of action.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Don.
Not going to keep you real long. I know you've got a lot to talk about with the guys in there. Tough first half against this excellent team. What do you see this first half?
Our biggest thing for us offensively, we can't put the ball on the ground. We can't throw the ball to the other team, especially when you're playing a great opponent. You can't turn the ball over. Defensively, we made a stop after a turnover. That was big. We got to turn that into points. And, I'm proud of our defense. I think we're playing hard and we're getting after it. We've gotten off the field a couple of times. But the biggest thing, we can't be on the field all the time. So we got to maximize our opportunities when we're on offense, and our backs are against the wall right now, so I want to see what kind of football team we got coming out against a really good football team and see who's going to step up and lead and help us finish this football game.
All right, you've got the ball starting the second half, so good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Dawn Morgan, our Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation with Coach Gonzalez as we head into our Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show. We'll have that for you coming up in 3 minutes. It's Wildcat football on Z94 KZOR. And welcome to your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show from Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. At some point, you know you are going to need the Napa Know-How for your car. We'll get it from the good folks at Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Lovington Auto Supply and Napa. Get up and go. And, well, the Artesia Bulldogs, well, they got the get up and go in the first half as they lead this one 37-0. Let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers of the first half of this one. We'll start with Artesia. Their quarterback, Nia Estrada, goes 9 of 14 for 100 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions thrown in that first half. His favorite target so far has been Isaac Casares, 2 catches, 55 yards. The touchdown pass, though, coming to Ethan Kahn on the second play of the ball game. He's got 2 catches for 32 yards, including that touchdown. On the rushing side of things, it's been the Frankie Galindo show. No big surprise there, as he's carried it 13 times for 122 yards and 4 touchdowns. Isaac Casares on a couple of end arounds has 33 yards on the ground, and Estrada with 1 carry, which officially was sacked, and so he lost 9 on the play. So you've got 100 through the air, 146 in the first half on the ground, 246 total yards for Artesia in that first half. They were flagged 9 times for 75 yards worth of penalties, and they get 22 points in the first, 15 in the second. That's how they get to their 37 on the board. Artesia had 6 first downs in that first half. Turning the page for your Lovington Wildcats. Wyatt Gomez under a lot of pressure in that first half, goes 10 of 20, so 50-50, but only 37 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions thrown in that first half. 3 completions to DeMarcus Thompson for 25 yards. He is the leading receiver. Elijah Rivera with 3 catches for 18 yards. On the ground, Lovington, it has been hard sledding. Cameron Ochoa just 2 carries for 2 yards. Wyatt Gomez, 1 carry for 2 yards. Alec Olguin, 2 carries for a yard. And DeMarcus Thompson on an end around, the leading rusher right now. He's got 1 carry for 8 yards, 37 yards through the air, 13 on the ground, just 50 yards in that first half for the Wildcats. They were flagged 3 times for 30 yards in the first half, had 5 first downs, 2 of them coming off of penalties. And here's the most telling statistic of the game, 4 turnovers for the Wildcats, Dawn Morgan.
You know, that's one of the things that I admire about Coach Gonzalez, Coach G. He doesn't make excuses. He tells it like it is. And if the team is not executing, I mean, he said, obviously, when you make mistakes like that, you make penalties, you make mistakes, you give the ball over, you can't expect for the other team to make as many mistakes and give it back to you. So he always, what I also admire, though, is that he and his staff take the blame for those mistakes. They say there are solutions and answers to better execution, and we will help the team find them. But he's quick to say, you know what, it could have been better. But we made the mistakes. We shot ourselves in the foot. We had some good things happen. There are some good things happening. We just couldn't capitalize on it and make it good enough to get on the board. But he is hopeful that they're going to change some things. They're going to come out with the ball at half, and that they're going to get on the board and play better. You know, I think in this situation, when you're facing a really good team, you can't give them anything. And Artesia just hasn't made as many mistakes. So Lovington is just going to have to play cleaner, better, and come out with that fighting spirit and that fire to try to get on the board and try to get this out of running clock. I think that's the first thing to try to do, get out of running clock, and then, you know, just execute and try to get as many scores on the board as you can. I mean, they're down 37-0. It's not 50-0.
No, it is
at
not.
Half. It's, you know, it's so it's you know, they have scored quickly. I mean, they put 14 points on the board.
Less than a minute into the
that's
game,
right,
basically.
in the first minute, you know, against Denver City. So this team is a team that can surprise another team and even surprise themselves sometimes. What they can do when they have the spirit, the determination, and the fight is just going up against a team that is so dominant in every area like Artesia. It's a challenge, and and I think coach is just mostly disappointed that they're not meeting the challenge better. You know, if you meet the challenge and you still don't get the results, that's the game. But if you can't meet the challenge and play better and play up to your potential against, a good opponent, I think that's what he wants to see, is that they just do better.
Yeah, I think you're right. Score updates coming in from other Lee County games tonight, as it is over in Tatum tonight as Melrose, the Buffaloes, that was a number 1 versus 2 matchup in 8-man, and the Buffaloes run the Coyotes out of their own stadium 50-0. That game called in the third quarter with the 50-point mercy rule. The Jow Panthers ended their game before half against the Capitan Tigers, so the Panther, the king of that jungle tonight in Capitan. That was a 50-0 ball game too. Don't have a score update on Eunice tonight, as they're confident taking on Portales for homecoming. We'll try and get you a score update on that one. And Don, as we've moved through it, I think you hit the key to the second half was they have to come out and they just have to execute. Don't worry about what the scoreboard says. Come out and play your game and get this game under running clock if you can on that first possession.
Yeah, I think that's key, and I think let's hope that they can come out and do that. It remains to be seen. I wonder if Artesia, if the coach will come out and field, some of his second team, some of his younger players starting off in this second half, or with Lovington kicking off, whether he'll have his starters back on the field against them to start this second half. I don't know. What do you think?
I am torn on this one. It's kind of a catch-22 situation if you're Coach Maupin, or if you're any coach that's in this kind of situation. You don't want your starters to go completely cold and, basically play less than a half of football. But at the same time, you also don't want to risk getting them injured in a runaway kind of game either. I think what you might see out of Coach Maupin, and again, this is just me spitballing, and I always say that there's a reason I'm sitting up here and I'm not down on that field wearing the headsets down there coaching the team. And well, there's multiple reasons, but one of the reasons is I don't have to make these decisions. I would think you would come out and maybe on your first possession, if you're the Artesia Bulldogs, you go ahead and play your starters. You try and get that touchdown on the board, and then you put the backups in and let them finish it out. But that's just my thinking. I know different coaches have different ways of thinking about that and doing these things too. And I do have a thank you, Evie, back in studio, an update on the Portales and Eunice game. It's Eunice's homecoming tonight, and very brave, taking on the 4A number 2 team in Portales. And, well, they're giving them a pretty good game. It's 17-7 Portales at halftime of that one. But, so Eunice acquitting themselves pretty nice against a team we're going to see here in about a month.
Yeah. One of the good things about this game and about this halftime is, even though both bands have performed, and the Lovington band doing a very nice job again, I think this is the first halftime that we've seen them in their uniforms doing their routine, and it continues to be polished up and looking better and sounding better every week. But the Artesia did their homecoming before the game began, so this is not an extended halftime, and that means Lovington, the players can have the regular amount of time that they usually have to take a rest, to get their legs under them, to kind of reset, refocus, and get ready to come out here and have the football for at least receive. And hopefully, hang on to that ball. So I think that's a good thing, given that this is homecoming night. Halftime and the atmosphere right now is pretty normal.
Yes, it is. And, of course, we've got another homecoming next week. Thank goodness it's ours for once, as Santa Fe High will be coming into town. And, at some point, if you're Lovington, you might think about, all right, we're going to continue our game plan against this Bulldog team, but maybe we start thinking about some things we're going to work on next week against Santa Fe High. So that's something you gotta think about in this second half too. Of course, we will start it in running clock, but any score by the Wildcats will get the clock to stop and get it under running score territory. Again, that's just something that they are going to have to think about as the Artesia band has gone to the center of the field. I think they have some alumni out there for their homecoming. As one of my band directors and my football coaches used to say, for the Big Blue Band, they win every halftime. So we will.
Yeah, and I guess I spoke too soon. I thought it was going to be just a regular halftime and that the band was wrapping up and going off the field. So we're going to have, yes, we are going to have some alumni recognition here for homecoming.
Have they ever asked to do an alumni band thing with your alma mater, which happens to be in Lee County?
Yeah, I
that
don't
big school
know.
south of Lovington, in case you were, since you were the drum major for
yeah. No,
for a time.
Yeah, I haven't. Of course, that was a very long time ago. They may have forgotten I even went to Hobbs High. So.
I have been asked.
I haven't forgotten, but they may have.
I have been asked to come back for alumni events at Big Spring High, and I have been. Depending on the mood, they've caught me, and I've been polite or not so polite. But no, I will not be going back for any alumni band events. Let's just put it that way.
I think I would.
I haven't gone back for any alumni football or baseball events either, if that gives you any idea. Of course, they're probably trying to forget I played either one of those sports too. So my knees certainly will never forget it. As we continue, see the things you get when we have extended halftime shows to talk about. They call it rain delay theater in baseball, and we are getting a bit of rain delay theater here because of homecoming events the last couple of weeks.
I can tell you that is one thing that has been good tonight, and that's the weather. It's been a beautiful night for football, just about perfect. It was a hot day, but it has that fall feeling to the air, a little bit of a coolness to the breeze. Thank goodness there is a breeze. Sometimes that's the only thing. A Bulldog Bowl is certainly a beautiful, very, very fine facility. And I know my dad worked for a few years for Mac Chase, so I know that they take great pride in the support of athletics and academics here in Artesia. But
I've noticed all their athletic buses have Mac's name on them too.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I've heard a story, and I don't know if this is actually true or not, but I will relay it. And it's about Mr. Chase. There was a rumor going around that once he made X numbers of dollars, he had said he would turn this into a domed stadium, and he hit X numbers of dollars, and they asked him about it, and he looked at them like they were, I think he basically told them, "Are you crazy?"
I don't know. I do not know if that's true or not. I do not know.
I do not know either.
As lovely as this is, the only bad thing about Bulldog Bowl, it can sometimes be, just depending on the weather and the wind, it can sometimes be a little stuffy, a little airless in here, and that's the only bad thing. But tonight it has not been at all. It's a clear sky, beautiful half moon up there, a bright one, and lovely, shirt sleeve weather, and lots of folks are sitting in the stands, underneath you. You probably can't see how packed it is, but there are plenty of folks, I think, who are just taking advantage of how nice it is, and they're standing along the railing. They're standing at the rails, along the home side of the stands and some of the visitor side as well. So everybody with a nice view and a beautiful evening for football. And, of course, Lovington faithful and Lovington team not feeling it quite,
no,
as much.
No, they're not.
But
as the Orange faithful here are tonight. So, of course, it has been a long time, because when you have homecomings and things, it's a bit of rain delay theater, which is what we're doing tonight. If you would have told me the first game I ever actually did in this stadium, Don, they'd done a lot of remodeling, but they hadn't yet. It was actually a Texas high school playoff game back in, I want to say, it was either 1999 or 2000. It was still regular turf, and here it was Big Spring versus Riverside in the bi-district round.
Yeah.
So, that has been a long time ago. But if you'd have told me that over, since then, I've probably done not as many games here as I have at Wildcat Stadium or at Watson Stadium or Cardinal Stadium or Panther Stadium, but it's probably next on the list, I would have said, "Oh, you're crazy."
Well, one thing, going through school, this was always the location, either here or Roswell, the location of the marching band festivals. And, of course, it wasn't the facility then that it is now, but because of the bowl, and then it was either here or in Roswell. So as Hobbs would play Artesia, so we would be over here for the games. But we also would be over here sometimes for the marching competitions. So I've fond memories of all that, but I also have memories of just how hot it can be, down here on the field, and how hot it can be over there in Roswell as well.
Well, the first game I did, it was here, and again, that was a Texas high school playoff game. I'm like, what are we doing playing in New Mexico? But this is the halfway point between El Paso and Big Spring, apparently. But
right.
It was cold that day. It was miserable, and I was running back and forth. I was doing the play-by-play for Big Spring, but I was also doing interviews with the coaches at halftime and at pregame, postgame, and halftime. So I was running down. It was about probably 28, 30 degrees that day, and it was cold. I was really glad I was up here most of the time. And neither here nor there, and people are going, God, what are you people talking about? This is what happens when you have extended half times because of homecoming. As the Wildcats come back out onto the field, Artesia awaits coming back out too. So, all right, we can quit stalling now and head back and ready to go to the second half. This has been your Lovington Auto Supply Extended Edition Napa Know-How Halftime Show from the good folks at Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. When you need the Napa Know-How for your car, get it from the good folks at Lovington Auto Supply. Napa, get up and go. Back in 2.5 minutes for the second half. Wildcat football continues in a moment on Z94 KZOR. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat football here on Z94 KZOR. Hobbs Lovington, the Z94 KZOR app, HobbsAmerica.com, and the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. I'm TJ Miracle high above the Bulldog Bowl here in Artesia. Dawn Morgan patrolling the sidelines, Brad Henderson running the camera, and Evie Stuber, the ringmaster, back at KZOR Central. So the Cats will have the ball first to start this second half. So final thoughts as we get ready to kick half number 2 off of this one, Dawn.
Yeah, just going to have to look down and make sure that for some reason the score bug doesn't magically reset everything 0-0 again. So that happened 3 different times in the first. Not quite sure why, but I'll keep an eye on it.
Well, it may be because there's a couple of us. There's 2 broadcast crews using the exact same technology in the building. Maybe
Okay.
Our accounts are not linked, and if they are, we're going to have a long talk with our friends from Artesia. But I don't think they are because I'm pretty sure they're not.
No.
But I can't think of any reason. I guess
Just technology sometimes.
Technology is just biting us a little bit tonight on that one. So.
And I do notice that there is a reset button down in the right-hand corner, so it is possible that at least one of us was an operator error. So I'll watch that.
All right, as Parrish will kick it away, the Cats will be moving from the left to the right. It is a high end-over-ender as Rivero gets it back at the 5, brings it out across the hash mark, and then the Turf Monster tackles him at the 10 before Artesia comes in to finish up the job. So the Cats going to be pinned deep in their own end to start out this second half as Diego Lopez in on that stop for Artesia. Also coming up with a piece of that was Marcos Soto. So from the 16-yard line, first down and 10 for Lovington. A long way to go, and the clock's not going to stop except for timeouts and the change of quarter. So it'll be Cat football as Gomez and the troops come back out. Going to put out twins to the right, or rather to left, but keep them close. Now twins to the right. Olguin in the slot, right side. Moving back, Gomez, good protection, and throws it behind Rivero.
Yeah, obviously a little miscommunication there.
Yeah, he thought Rivero, I think was going to button hook in at about 6-7 yards out, and instead he kept going out. He was going to the flag, so it'll be incomplete, and it'll be second down and 10 for the Cats. Armendariz on the coverage over there, looks like. So on a second down and 10, clock continues to move, as it will. When you get into running clock, the clock moves very quickly. As in it tied in, Valentin Herrera. Hand it to Olguin, gets away from one in the backfield, sweeps it out to the far side, and he is run out after about a 1-yard gain. They're going to say steps out at the 17-yard line. So just a 1-yard gain for Olguin, and it'll be third down and 9 for the Wildcats.
Yeesh.
Not what the Cats have wanted to see.
They've really got to hit the ignition switch on the offense here.
You just kind of get the feeling, and you know they've got to find a way to give Wyatt just a little more time to let the skill guys get down the field. Now, they've got good enough speed to run with these guys. As Wyatt gets hit as he throws it, it is up over the top, and that one is almost picked off as DeMarcus Thompson has to go from receiver to defender.
Yes, Philip Finley was right there and almost intercepted that.
Pardon me, that was Cesar Gonzalez, who had to, you're absolutely right, had to tackle Finley Rascone there, keep him from getting it. It'll be incomplete, fourth down, and punt time for the Wildcats. Back deep to receive for the Bulldogs. Looks like it's going to be Jesse Armendariz. There is 9:20 remaining here in the third quarter, running clock time. As Patrick Sanchez will kick it away, but it is blocked, and it'll be a bounce, and Artesia will take it and down it. And yikes.
It's going to be at about the 32, 33-yard line.
Because Artesia touched that, was that a block or was it a shank? Because if Artesia touched that and Lovington grabs it and picks it up like they just did, it's Lovington football.
Well, it looked like
because it got touched by the other team. That should have made that a live ball for either team.
I couldn't see the kicker because of the players, but it certainly acted and looked like it was a blocked ball coming up, squirting up.
It certainly did, as they'll hand it off. Galindo, huge hole. He's to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Dragging Wildcats with him down inside the 10-yard line to the 8-yard line. 26 yards for Galindo. It is a moot point now, but it'll be first down and goal for the Bulldogs. 148 yards for Galindo. First and goal from the 8. Good snap. They'll throw it to the near side to number 17. That is Casares, and he will put it in the end zone from 8 yards out for the Bulldog touchdown. Second touchdown pass of the night for Estrada. And 63 yards receiving for Casares. And that'll make it a 43-0 ball game. 8:09 to go as the clock will stop for the point after. Isaac Casares with the touchdown from Estrada. And Artesia looks like they will kick the point after here. So not going the way of the Cats again. Philip Finley Rascone on to attempt the point after. Out of the hold of Casares, it is up, and that one is going to somehow sneak through after it was a bit of a whoopsie, but it still goes in. 8:09 to go in the third. It's all Artesian this one, 44-0. We're back in 30 seconds on KZOR. The Bulldogs take advantage of a muffed punt, a two-play, not very much, only 34-yard drive. And the point after is good, and now a touchdown for Artesia will end this one. Lovington needs to score to keep that from happening, just to keep it in running clock time. I'm TJ Miracle from high above Mac Chase Field here at the Bulldog Bowl. Dawn Morgan on the sidelines. As Parrish will kick it off, it is a high end over into Rivera. Will field it back at the 7, brings it out across the 10 to the 15 to the 20, gets a seam, 25, 30, out to the 33-yard line before a Bulldog over on that far side finally spins him out of bounds. Good return for Elijah Rivera. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. What's coming over is Jaron Watkins, who made that stop. So maybe that'll light a little bit of a spark for the Cats.
Yeah.
Looks like we may have a few different numbers out there for the Bulldogs this time.
Does look like that for sure.
You know, I'm thinking maybe they'll.
C47 McNeil.
Yeah, maybe they'll do what we talked about. You know, score on the first one and then get the second string in for some time. Back to pass. Gomez dumps it underneath, but not a lot of running room.
For Rivero again.
No, Rivero going to wind up with, call it a 3-yard gain. His fourth catch of the night. 21 yards for Rivero. Now 40 passing yards for Wyatt. 2nd down and 7. Under 7 to play in the third quarter. As the clock continues to move, Artesia puts 4 men across the front. Looks like they're going to bring the corner blitz this time. Lovington got everybody in tight. Throw the wide receiver screen to the near side, and the turf monster. Nobody touched him out, but they blew the whistle when the knee went down. So completed to Zadrick Betancourt. His first catch of the night, but he loses a couple on the play, so now it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Cats. Betancourt had some running room there, but credit the turf monster with his 3rd tackle of the game.
Yeah, a lot of different players have slipped on this surface. I don't know if it truly is, you know, just a little different than some of the artificial turfs that they're used to. I don't know.
So Lovington going to keep everybody in tight. It's a 4-receiver set, but everybody comes in tight. Artesia rushes 4. Back to pass. Wyatt throws it near side. Complete out near the first down. That is Gonzalez. And he will have enough for the first down. He'll have 11 yards to Cesar, his 3rd catch of the night. And it'll move the chains. 1st down Wildcats.
Nice.
For the Wildcats.
Their 6th first down of the ball game. 5:45 remaining in the ball game, or rather in the third. The Cats just taking their time. Again, the clock is not going to stop unless Lovington can get this under a 35-point Artesia lead. Back to pass. Wyatt looks right, thumps back left, goes across the middle. Rivero crosses into Artesia territory and down to the 45-yard line.
Rivero again.
Rivero. So that'll be 5, 10, 11 yards to Rivero. So Elijah with his 5th catch of the night, 32 yards, and move the chains. 1st down Lovington. Good protection that time.
Nice offensive drive they've got going here.
Yep, Artesia not getting nearly the pressure with their 2nd string in that they did with the 1st string. So now Lovington going to spread them out, send trips to the left, single man to the right. Single back in the backfield is Olguin. Good snap, hand it to Alec, and he's hitting the backfield and driven backwards. So So he's going to lose 2 yards on the ball on the play.
Really got nailed. Looked painful.
Yes, he did. As leading the charge for Artesia was Caden Grantham, who's had a pretty good ball game for the sophomore defensive end. So now on a 2nd down and 12, Lovington with only their 3rd penetration into Artesia territory tonight. Come out in the trips look once again. Going for it all, going for Betancourt down the near sideline and incomplete and no flags. Good coverage by the Bulldogs on the near side. So now it'll be 3rd down and 12 for Lovington.
Nice. Gotta move the chains here. Gotta convert.
Yes, you do, as the coverage provided down the field there by Jacob Ortega. So now 3rd and 12 from the Wildcat 47.
They've had luck on this drive with a screen pass, a little 10, 12, 15-yard screen pass, so we'll see.
Yeah, a little screen and then let them run. Fake the handoff to Olguin, coming near side and throwing back across his body, and that one will be complete to Olguin.
Yeah, he got it.
As Alex going to wind up with an 8-yard catch. It'll still be short of the 1st down. That's Alex's first catch of the night, to go along with 4 carries from the backfield.
Yeah, Cody Johnson was in on him tight, but Halleck was able to grab it and just clutch it to his chest, hang on for dear life.
Shouldn't Cody Johnson be out on a honky-tonk somewhere playing? Cody Johnson? Yeah, and isn't that the name of the guy who played at the Fair and Rodeo last year?
I think so.
Like I said, shouldn't he be in a honky-tonk playing a concert tonight instead of playing against Lovington? He's a little old for that. So on 4th down and time to go, and pressure comes and misfired, incomplete. No, Cesar Gonzalez, the intended receiver, but incomplete. And it'll go over on downs to Artesia. So it'll be Artesia Bulldog football with 2.5 minutes to go in the 3rd. And it looks like we will have a new quarterback in the ball game for the Bulldogs. That'll be Porter Hardman in as the quarterback. So Porter Hardman is the quarterback.
So just 2 minutes, just a little over 2 minutes left here in this 3rd quarter with running clock. It goes quickly.
Yes, it does. So Hardman will bring the team out and get them lined up here as he takes over from the Artesia 38-yard line. 1st and 10. 4 receiver set. High snap. Take the handoff. Hardman going to keep it himself. Goes around the right side, crosses the 40 up to the 42, 43-yard line. Well, Hardman with the 6-yard gain.
Gonzalez, Ramiro Gonzalez.
Actually, that was Casadas, pardon me, with the gain.
No, I was saying our player, Ramiro Gonzalez, was one of the first cats to get there and start the tackle, and then there was a pile on after that.
So Casares was the running back there. I apologize for missing that. So it'll be 2nd down and 4 for Artesia. Clock continues to move. And handing it off on the end around. Room to run is coming to the near side. And finally going to be bumped out of bounds as running that football was number 44. Yeah, that is Van de Vender. So we'll call it Van de Vender. And he's going to get a big gain. Okay, so let's see. That's 10, 20, 22 yards for Van de Vender. It'll be a Artesia 1st down. 30 seconds remaining here in the quarter. If Artesia scores on this drive, it will be over. Scores a touchdown, I should say. So Twins to the left, Twins to the right. Take the handoff, though, the screen coming to the near side with some room to run, getting the block, crossing the 25 to the 22-yard line, number 86. And that is going to be Trent Egeland. And he'll have a 1st down. And 12 yards for Egeland. And that'll end the 3rd quarter, so we head to the 4th. All Artesia in this one, 44-0. Back in a minute for the 4th here on Z94 KZOR. Back here in Artesia, it's been all Bulldogs in this one. They lead it 44-0. And they are on the drive. Casares is the back now. With Van Der in the back. The little screen pass in the backfield. Lovington doing a out.
That was Patrick Sanchez.
Yes, he was doing a nice job there. The pass. On the Artesia can really afford just to kind of take their time, do whatever they want to here. Well, they are going to take their time as the play clock down to about 15 as Casares going to bring the play in. Receiver Casares 363 yards on the night as a runner. 3 runs for 39, and they will hand it off to Van Deventer. Comes up the middle, and he's going to cross the 20 and then get pushed forward and drag Anson Marquez and a couple of cats with him. It'll be a pickup of 7.
That was 9. Elijah Gonzalez. He was back.
3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. Back to skip to the near side. So trying to get Callis on the near side and complete. So 4th down and 5 for Lovington stacking everybody up.
It's gonna
out of the hold of Casares, and the kick is up, and it'll be short and no good. And so the Wildcats bring the pressure and get to it as Romero Gonzalez didn't get a hand on it, but I think they rushed that kick a little bit, and so it'll go over to Lovington. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. 9.5 to go here in the ball game. So the Wildcats going to continue to try and put one on the board to try and salvage a little pride in this one. If nothing else, Lovington will drop to 3-3 on the year going into next week against the Demons of Santa Fe High. Hand it off, and heading to the right side is Olguin. He's tripped up at the 20, gets away from it, and then gets knifed down at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, putting a little kind of a little trip tackle on him was number 65. I can't get my. And
that I can spot you on that. That'll be Kellen Worley.
I've got with 90. I've got 4 or 5 pages of roster here to try to unspool. It's like.
Yeah, it is a lot of names on that roster.
It's like a wish list, as long as a wish list for Santa when I was, 5 years old.
Twins to the left, single receiver. Actually, single left, twins to the right. There we go. I'll learn my left from my right. As tossing it, trying to go it down and in and out of the hands of Cesar Gonzalez. Incomplete. A little bit underthrown there, too. So it'll be 3rd down and about 4 to go for the Wildcats. 8 minutes remaining in the ball game.
Pretty good, clean, close coverage on him by Hudson.
3rd down.
So it'll be 3rd down and 4 to go. As again, the Wildcats going to fall tonight, but trying to put one on the board. You don't want to get skunked. Artesia has put in the 2nd and 3rd stringers now. They'll be celebrating a homecoming win. I guess just wasn't meant to be to ruin 3 homecomings in a row as Wyatt will roll to the left. Looks, fires off the back foot, puts that one up, and it'll be complete to Rivero at the Artesia 40, and he'll take it down to the 35-yard line.
No, that
is Rivero. It's 26.
Rivero.
Yep, Elijah Rivero. Right in front of me, I know. There's 25, 35, 39 yards for the Wildcat 1st down.
Sorry, I could not hear you.
I said, yep, I know. It happened right in front of me. It was Rivero. So.
Right.
Rivero, 6 catches now, 71 yards. 1st and 10 for the Cats inside Artesia territory. From their 34-yard line as Wyatt rolls right, throws it across his body. Rivero again down to the 20-yard line. So 14 yards to Elijah that time. 85 receiving yards, Elijah Rivero tonight. 121 passing yards tonight for Gomez. 85 of them have come to Elijah Rivero. So first time they've knocked it into the red zone tonight. 1st and 10 from the Artesia 20. Everybody bunched in tight. Take it, pump fake left, look left, throw it to Marquez. And he'll slide down at the 17 as the turf monster gets another one. So it'll be a 3-yard completion to Anson, his second catch of the night. So it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Cats. As we hit the halfway mark of this 4th quarter. Of course, running clock only stops for timeouts. So the Cats will bring it up to the line as I guess the play clock has decided to quit working. So they have to go to the old-fashioned hand signals. Trips to the right, one to the left. Rolling to the right side. Firing, going to the end zone, and picked off in the end zone by Artesia. 5th turnover of the night for the Wildcats, and it comes at a bad time. They wanted it all and come up short, and Artesia will have another interception on the night. 5 turnovers for the Cats tonight. And that will pretty much put paid to it is Hayden Harcrow with the INT for the Bulldogs. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line, so they got a long way to go, but the clock is their friend. And so Casares still the quarterback. Endevere still the running back. Saris handles it, fires it. Going to be complete across the 20 out to the 25-yard line. So it'll go to Egeland, his second catch of the night. Good for 8. Well, it'll be 2nd down and about 3 to go, 2-3 yards. 4.5 minutes to go. In case Artesia gets a touchdown, or rather a 1st down or 2. At that point, they can just kneel it down. As the Dogs win the battle tonight of the Dogs and the Cats. Well, 2nd down and 3. The option pitch coming near side to Vanderveer. He's going to take it up across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. He's going to pick up 5, and it'll move the chains. So another Artesia 1st down, their 9th of the ball game. So 1st down for Artesia. And again, the clock is their friend. We're under 4 to play. They can take just as much time as they want to. Kind of think they're probably going to keep it on the ground for the most part here. But maybe not. And Twins left, Twins right. Again, they're going to be working on things as that one is incomplete. Egeland, the intended target that time.
Pass intended for Jack Byers. 2nd down.
Actually, Byers that time, 88, not 86. They look a little similar from up here. Well, incomplete, so 2nd down. Looks like we do maybe having another new quarterback in for Artesia this time. That'll be, not mistaken, Derek Warren. So Warren is the quarterback now. We click down to the 3-minute mark remaining in the ball game. Send a man in motion. And they will hand it off to that motion man looking for a little running room. But Lovington sniffs it out nicely and takes down the ball carrier, number 34, Jet Whitmire. So Whitmire with no gain. And I am out of room for skill players on my stat sheet tonight. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different ball carriers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different receivers tonight for Artesia. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for Artesia. 2.5 remaining in the ball game. Quarterback gets it, rolls to the near side, dumps it underneath, and that one will be incomplete. Trying to get Whitmire. No, incomplete as Warren. And Whitmire not able to hook up. So it'll be 4th down and a ways to go. We've got to think it'll be punt time now for Coach Maupin and the Bulldogs. So Lovington will have one more opportunity tonight to try and punch one into the end zone. So can still maybe salvage a score and get the goose egg off the board. As Zadrick Betancourt will head back deep to receive. He'll set up about his own 40-yard line. With 100 seconds remaining, Lovington comes after it, almost gets to that one. Be a high end-over-ender that'll bounce and go out of bounds at about the 44-yard line inside Wildcat territory. But they got 90 seconds less than to work with here.
Do have timeouts.
Yeah, and Lovington's going to take their first timeout so they can preserve a little time with 1:19 remaining in the ball game. So we'll just keep it right here. Say a big thanks to our friends at Eastern New Mexico University, CYA Trucking Insurance, Davin Energy, Eunice Pump and Supplies, Stone Oilfield Services, Man Welding, Lee County Electric Cooperative, Bob's Thriftway, Lovington Schools, and Lovington Auto Supply, making Wildcat football possible here on Z94, KZOR, Hobbs, Lovington, and the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Of course, even though this one didn't go the way of the Wildcats, hey, the 5-game road trip is over. We used to have to do these every year when I was working with the Odessa Jackalopes, and they always had the rodeo road trip. When the Sandhill Stock Show and Rodeo would come into town, we'd be on the road for like 3 weeks, it seemed like. And if San Antonio Spurs and the NBA have to do it, I've never worked for them. I'd love to, but yeah, this has almost felt like the rodeo road trip. We've been on the road for 5 weeks. Finally, a little home cooking next week. I think we need it. So
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the Artesia 44-yard line. Wyatt throws it across the middle, and it'll be complete out at the 40-yard line. 16 yards. And so that is complete to number 28. That was Joaquin Vasquez. So for 14, throw it near side. And it'll be complete to, that time comes to Anson Marquez, and Lovington going to take another timeout after, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7-yard completion. We'll call it 7. There is 147 through the air for Wyatt Gomez. Lovington will take their second timeout, trying to get it down close enough to shoot for the end zone with 53 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Cats. They are inside the 35-yard line in Artesia territory. So even though it didn't go the Cats' way tonight, a little home cooking next week. Back at the friendly confines finally.
Yeah, I think Lovington definitely is missing being home on their field, you know?
I'm missing being home on our field.
Yeah, me too. But
I miss my press box.
yeah. They've had tough, they've had some really great results and wins on this long stretch, five-week road trip, basically.
Trips to the right, one to the left. Gomez, good protection. Hit as he throws, as it breaks down. Has a man at the 15. Inside, down to the 10, and throw the flag after Cesar Gonzalez gets creamed as he goes out of bounds. He'll be at the 5-yard line. It'll be good for 30, make that 27 yards. And move the chains. 1st down, Wildcats.
Yeah, what, 1st and goal from the 5?
Yes, it will be. 174 through the air now for Wyatt. And Lovington going to take their final time out with 36 seconds to go. So they got 36 seconds to run 4 plays because the clock will not stop for anything now that Lovington is out of timeouts. Artesia is going to do everything they can to try and preserve the shutout. Of course, next week we will be finally back at the friendly confines of Wildcat Stadium. Brian Urlacher Field, Don Morgan's home turf there. And my press box doesn't have a name, but we'll be back in that one.
Well, maybe
Say
don't.
my press box, our press box.
Name it after you.
Oh,
Your press box.
I don't think I've earned that one.
Oh, okay.
Give it about another 15, 20 years, maybe we'll talk.
Okay.
And finally just get to go home. That's enough. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 5. Clock will not stop again for anything except a touchdown as Wyatt with it rolls right, looks to the end zone, throws it across his body, and it is bobbled around. And did it get picked off again?
No.
All right, so it'll be incomplete.
Yeah, incomplete. They're going to hurry back to the line.
Yeah, they've got
get
to.
another play off.
So clock continues to move from the near hash mark. Twins left, twins right. Wyatt with it, 3-step drop, pressure comes, throws it, and bobbled by Olguin and dropped with 13 seconds to go. Alec had it, but not able to hold on. With 8, with 7, with 6, they got to come back. They've got to snap it and get it on. 3-2, they do get it off to the corner of the end zone, trying to get on the board to Betancourt, and incomplete, and that is the ball game. And Artesia maintains the shutout and wins this one by a final of 44-0 over the Wildcats. So congratulations to the Bulldogs for winning their homecoming match tonight. But, hey, Lovington's got a week to put this one behind them and get ready for Santa Fe. We will take a 3-minute timeout and come back with your Devon Energy postgame show and your Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. Wildcats fall tonight to the Bulldogs 44-0. Back in 3 minutes here on KZOR. And welcome to your Devon Energy postgame show from here in Artesia tonight as the Lovington Wildcats falling to the #1 overall team in the state, the Artesia Bulldogs, 44-0. And definitely not the game that the Wildcats wanted tonight, as Artesia pretty much dominated this one from the word go, winning 44-0. And these numbers are going to get a little skewed because for most of the second half, Artesia did run their second and third string offenses. So let's go ahead and give you the numbers tonight for the three Artesia quarterbacks combined. They go 13-20 for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both those touchdowns thrown by Nye Estrada. Estrada in the ball game went 10 of 15 for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those 2 touchdowns coming to Isaac Cazares, who was the leading receiver tonight for Artesia. He had 3 catches for 63 yards. The other touchdown coming to Ethan Kahn, who had 2 catches for 32 yards. Frankie Galindo, it was his night tonight. 14 carries for 148 yards for that young man. Collectively, 202 rushing yards for Artesia, so Lovington had a little trouble stopping the run again tonight. 127 through the air, 202 on the ground, 329 total. Artesia finishes with 9 penalties in the ball game and 9 first downs. Of course, you win 44-0, running clock second half. Its numbers, kind of look a little different than you are used to seeing. Not a good night tonight for the Wildcats offensively, as Gomez has his troubles. Goes 21 of 40, 174 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. His leading receiver tonight was Elijah Rivero. He had 7 catches for 85 yards. He also had Lovington's longest play of the night, a 39-yard reception late in the ball game. So he was the leading receiver tonight. Rushing yards, Thompson was the leading rusher, 1 carry, 8 yards on an end around. So 174 through the air, 18 collectively on the ground, 192 total yards for the Cats. They were only flagged for 3 penalties for 30 yards, but no score in the ball game, and 8 first downs for Lovington. The telling number, though, 5 turnovers in the ball game, and that really is what made the difference here tonight in this. We'll call it what it is. It was a drubbing. Artesia deserving of being the number 1 team in 5A and the number 1 team in the state, and they've earned it tonight. I don't think this will really affect Lovington's position too much as the number 1 team in 4A, depending on what happens when we get into district. And, right now you just got to put it behind you, and you can't worry about it and move on and start, getting ready for next week and the homecoming distractions that often do accompany homecoming week. But get ready for Santa Fe. I think Santa Fe, even though their record may not show it, I think they were going into the bye week for them this week. They were 1-4, but I think probably much improved over last year. So it'll be interesting to see what the Demons bring in one week from tonight, as we finally get off the 5-game road trip and get to go home, and one more tune-up before the bye week, and then district starting here in 3 weeks. That one also in the friendly confines of Wildcat Stadium and Brian Urlacher Field, as Coach G talking to his team out there. And you got to think he's trying to get them fired up, and I think he would tell you they didn't really play the kind of game that they know they can play. Against an Artesia team, you can't afford many mistakes, and Lovington just had way too many of them tonight and never really found any rhythm at all. Of course, this is your Devon Energy postgame show from the great folks at Devon Energy. Proud supporters of all Lee County athletics and the Lovington Wildcats. Devon Energy is looking for new team members in the Lovington and Lee County area, so contact Devon Energy. You can look them up online, see all those job openings, and who knows, a new job may be just for you over at Devon Energy. So the Devon Energy postgame show here tonight as we get ready for the Bob Thriftway Coaches Conversation, as Dawn Morgan joined by Coach G tonight.
Yeah.
Dawn?
Coach G, a tough night tonight. Less than 200 yards of offense, only 3 penalties, 5 turnovers though. What did you tell your team in the after-game huddle here?
We prepared well. Really good football. At the end of the day, and it's been the same thing the entire year, when you play really good football teams and you have that many turnovers, it's impossible to succeed. And that's not what we do. We don't put the ball on the ground. We don't lose the football. We don't throw the football to the other team. And there were a lot of opportunities out there for us tonight offensively to capitalize on that. And, White did a good job in the second half moving the football down the field. Routine stuff that we normally do, we just didn't do it. Maybe that's the environment. I don't know what it is. But at the end of the day, I just told them the mistakes that were made, that's not on them. That's on us as a coaching staff, and we got to dial in and fix it. And that starts tomorrow morning because we got a great big football game coming up. Finally get to come home after a tough 5 weeks battling really good football teams.
With some really good results.
Absolutely, and it's just like I told them, and we've talked about this too. Winning is probably the hardest thing for any football team to continue to do because it takes a lot of work to get that done. And that requires you to pour in every single day, give everything that you got. So this kind of knocked us off our hilltop a little bit. And we got a great big one coming home, next week, playing a 6A school, another school that's bigger than we are. We had to step in with some guys tonight that weren't playing a week ago in some certain spots. Those guys stepped up. That was good to see. So this schedule's been rough. It's been tough on our kids, and we've gotten beat up and bruised a little bit. But, again, playing this really good football team is going to make us better as a football team as well.
So what's the key going to be against the team on Friday?
Really nothing about Santa Fe High. Really, it's got to be about us, and we got to get back doing the routine things that we do.
You do well normally.
Absolutely, and that's, not putting the football on the ground, not throwing the football to the other team. That's the thing that just, and like I said, maybe it was the environment, and I don't know. I got to do a better job of changing up their environment so that we get in those situations and we make those routine plays like we always make. And so, again, this is a great learning experience for us. Not everybody in our district is going to line up and play the Artesia Bulldogs. Nope. And so we got that opportunity, and we finished the game. That was my challenge to them. Don't worry about the scoreboard, but I don't want this football team leaving the field early. So I want to see you come out and finish, and I believe that we did that. We're going to learn from this, grow from this, and get better.
All right, we'll be there next Friday. It'll be homecoming for you guys, but it'll just be nice to be back on the blue turf again, won't it?
Yes, ma'am, and we're going to give you a better show, I promise.
Excellent. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank
you
you
very much.
All right, Dawn Morgan with Coach G. Always appreciate Coach G taking time out for the Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. So not much else can be said tonight other than got to put it behind you and get ready for the Demons of Santa Fe 1 week from tonight, finally back at Wildcat Stadium. So with that, my friends, we will put a wrap on this one. For Brad Henderson running the camera tonight, for Evie Stuber running things back at One Radio Square, for Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle saying so long from Artesia. This has been an exclusive presentation of Nowalmark Digital and Z94 KZOR Sports. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.